Welcome to the Cappiello and Collins Show on YouTube with David Cappiello and Michael Collins. The show where the right wing never gets a pass and the right wing is always wrong. And now here are our hosts, David Cappiello and Michael Collins.
Welcome to the Cappiello and Collins Show, Episode 1. Michael Collins is on assignment tonight and unavailable. I have a transgender gay activist on the line tonight from an area, an undisclosed location in Connecticut. The activist wishes to remain nameless for the moment. And we're going to have a discussion about issues in the transgender community, being recognized in the law, protected under the law, and also just about the upcoming election and how a transgender activist would feel, or a transgender person may feel, regarding the possibility of a McCain-Palin win and the possibility of an Obama-Biden win. If Obama wins, will he do anything on the federal level to protect transgender and gay and lesbian people for that matter? And if McCain and Palin win, we know they won't protect us, but how much harm can be done? So, go ahead, please.
Hi, David. How are you?
Pretty good.
That's good. That's good. Well, I was listening to you talking about the McCain versus the Obama thing. The one thing unique about Obama is that he's the first candidate that's actually come out and endorsed the transgender gay lifestyle, if you want to call it that, as a group that needs rights and deserves human rights. Yep. Nobody else in history of the United States has ever dared to come out with these type of things. And that's a plus. I think that's a big plus for us because he's not afraid to be associated with us, where a lot of other politicians, they may want your vote, but forget about it after that.
Well, but, my understanding is, and my personal feeling has always been that the Democratic Party, until very recently, only paid what some might call lip service to the LGBT community.
That's correct, David, because
lip service.
Again,
I
even
know
in the debates that came up, a lot of the Democratic candidates, they were playing lip service and paying lip service, and they you could tell there was some apprehension with them talking about gay transgendered issues. They just couldn't get easy with it. But as I say, we're hoping for a landslide for Obama, and we're also hoping for a landslide of Democrats in both the Senate and Congress, so that we can really get some things achieved, some rights achieved. And I believe also there's an agenda that the Republicans have been pushing, and I think that agenda that people really don't understand is something that panders to the absolute rich. And what they basically would like to do is dial back the working class to the prior 1900s situation, where unions were illegal.
They want essentially a slave class, and the neocon philosophy taken to the extreme. They would like to reduce the world population to 1 billion people who would essentially be working poor, who would serve the top 1 million who would be super wealthy. So essentially the last 250 years of progress in the United States, they'd like to throw that away. They don't believe in democracy. They believe in a police state. As we know, the way they've abused the 9/11 and used it to pass draconian, scary laws where they can disappear people, and have, in some cases, as you know, secret prisons, torture camps, Guantanamo, the like. But, that's not just being used against terrorists, that's being used against...
David, keep in mind that we don't torture, right?
Well, under the Geneva Conventions,
and they've done some pretty crazy things to some very innocent people. And again, you don't have the sanction of any judge looking at their intentions and to see if they have all their ducks in a row before they even do this kind of stuff. We've had rights, we've had habeas corpus here, we've done away with all of that stuff. But one interesting thing too.
The ACLU.org had a cute cartoon caricature. Find habeas corpus, restore habeas corpus, and essentially at this point, a person could, in theory, be detained without probable cause and without access to a lawyer, and they've done that to some people of Arab descent. But, the implication with the Patriot Act, and I lump it all into the term Patriot Act, the implication with all of that stuff is that anybody who doesn't agree with the dictator in power can be silenced through fear and, in some extreme cases, through false arrest and imprisonment. I mean, look at what they did to Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! And also her producers. Her producers came out of jail bloodied. Just for covering the protests of the Republican National Convention. And there was also an AP photographer that was falsely arrested. And these people are being charged, I believe, under terrorism laws with felonies.
Mm-hmm. Well,
imagine what they could do to gay activists if they wanted to, if we had another 8 years of Republican domination.
One of the interesting things that I've seen to this election is how a large portion of the media, and that's involved to free press, and they've been pro-Republican, even to the point of, I understand, mailing CDs or DVD discrimination that's happening to people who were employed and looking for jobs now, transgendered people, and even the people that still are on jobs. The employees are taking incredible, bold steps of action against the transgender employees. And it's like it's open season. And the transgender employees...
after 8 years of Bush, I would think they're emboldened. I mean, Bush has appointed hard right-wingers to the federal courts, so certainly there's not going to be any relief anytime soon from the federal courts, and even in most states you don't have transgender protections. We don't even have transgender protections here in Connecticut, really. I mean, you testified before.
No, we don't. Right, you're right, and I did testify.
Yeah.
As many did. Twice I've testified, and you kind of wonder, what basically can you achieve? It seems like you're running into a stone wall where those who will listen to you will listen, those who won't listen to you refuse to learn anything, and there's a very little amount of swing in the middle that can really be of any use to get things turned around. Everything basically that a pro-transgender law to be established here in Connecticut and voted on will get shot in the foot. The last one got nailed by 3 Republicans, and they filibustered it
for
about an hour and a half, and then they just threw it out the door and said, well, the heck